What if there was a test that actually measured health? Hey, I'm Dr. Randy, and I wanted to share with you an exciting new test that is inexpensive and can be a game changer in identifying if your protocols, if your lifestyle, if the way that you're engaging with health is benefiting you or not. It's called the MVX test, the Metabolic Vulnerability Index. And it is the test that finally measures health. It's a composite biomarker. So it's derived from 6 key markers, and they provide an assessment for an individual's for your metabolic and inflammatory status. So what does that mean? It's measuring your mitochondria, and it's measuring your physiology, it's measuring how your body is adapting or not adapting to toxins, to infections. It can help identify nutrient imbalances, nutrient deficiencies, all with one test that's less than $100. And that's what's so exciting, is that it is not an expensive test. And it could absolutely change and revolutionize the way that we look at health. Because most tests are looking for pathology, this test is measuring physiology. And if we follow the physiology, like Dr. Darren Schmidt always talks about, we are on the right track. We don't need to be chasing things. So what does this test actually measure? Well, as I said, there are 6 factors. The first 2 make up what are called your inflammatory vulnerability index. And there is a score on this test, right? So the score, we'll go into that detail, but the score is going to identify where you are. The higher the score out of 100, honestly, the more likely someone is to die in the next 3 to 5 years, right? So if you're close to 100, that is a very good predictor of mortality. The beauty of it is that you can change these markers based on lifestyle, health, detoxification, and because you now have access to this and can identify what these numbers are, you know if your plan is benefiting you or not. And you can do this every month to identify what's happening. I plan on using this with all my patients going forward. And so as I roll this out, it's just super exciting and beneficial. The backstory of this, briefly, I think it's warranted, is Dr. Darren Schmidt, who researches things in no end. He loves reading about old medical doctors, what they used to say because they were right. Found this test and just dove in, and long story short, in January got this test available to the public. Before that, it was only through National Institutes of Health. They've run this on over 30,000 people. Over in Europe, they've run this on over 200,000 people. And it's a great predictor of longevity and mortality. The lower your score, the healthier you are, the better your mitochondrial function, the better your physiology. The higher the score, the worse those things are. So what does it measure? The first 2 factors are your, again, as I said, your inflammation vulnerability index. So this indicates your body's inflammatory status, low or high, or medium, right? So GlycA and small HDL particles are the best markers to identify this. GlycA is a composite marker of different metabolites. So it's derived from, again, different glycoproteins. And the significance of it is it's more stable than C-reactive protein. It's actually a better predictor of what's going on with C-reactive protein, where that can be altered, within a day. GlycA is going to be more stable, so it's going to be a more accurate index of your inflammatory level. And what it's pointing to is more detoxification infection causing inflammation. So super important. The next one is small HDL particles. And this one, so we want a higher amount of these small particles. When you test HDL on a regular test, it's just giving you a total HDL count. When you're looking at the particle size, now you're associating this with the ability to support detox processes, support those pathways. And by knowing the particle number, the particle size, the amount of those small HDL particles, you can actually indicate impaired lipid metabolism. It indicates toxicity, suggesting the need for detoxification and metabolic support. So two really super important markers. The other four markers make up what's called your metabolic malnutrition index. So just based on the name, now you're looking at more nutrient deficiency, being malnourished, not absorbing, not digesting. And these markers are citrate and then 3 branched chain amino acids. Citrate is critical because that is one of the large particles that initiates Krebs cycle, right? And that Krebs cycle is happening in the mitochondria. It is helping your body to produce ATP. So with citrate, when these levels are, when there are deviations in this is going to point towards mitochondrial dysfunction, a need to improve mitochondrial health. And it'll indicate whether your energy production and metabolic flexibility is efficient or not. The other 3 markers are your branched chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And these are essential because these 2 are indicative of protein synthesis and energy production. When they're elevated, they can indicate metabolic stress, insulin resistance, and there's more to that, but I'm just doing kind of a short pared down version of this right now. So when you look at these 4, it's more pointing towards, again, nutrient and nutrient deficiency, malnutrition. It could point to things in the gut that are inhibiting your body from absorbing. And then this whole score gives you a whole score out of 100. So I think it's amazing that we now have this test that is inexpensive. It's less than $100. And you can run this monthly to show if your lifestyle, the plan you're on, the protocol you're on, things you are doing, are they benefiting your body? Is the physiology changing or is it not? So it really is a great marker for both the doctor and the patient to identify, because it empowers you to know if your physiology is healthy. It empowers you to be able to make better, more impactful decisions, more informed decisions about your health. And then for the doctor, it keeps the doctor on. Like if we're seeing that this is not budging, then we have to change the protocols to help you, the patient, improve. And so it's a fantastic test. I'm so excited to begin using this with patients and created this video to give you awareness to it. I'll be doing some more teaching on this as we go through the next couple of weeks, and I'm excited to share it with you. If you want to order this test, and I'll put a link here in the email for it. Go on to our store, Shopify, and just look up MVX, Metabolic Vulnerability Index. You can purchase that, and Ali will get this. They'll get the paperwork you need sent off to you, and you just do this platform. So it's super easy.